When the war with Israel and Palestine broke out, Israel started demanding that many celebrities in Hollywood and athletes start speaking out on its behalf. And many people did, but some people started taking a different position.
The Israeli government right now is taking the time to call out celebrities who are Palestinian, and they're saying they're not condemning the actions.
Here's the thing. I have no doubt that what Israel has the right to defend itself. I think that what Hamas did was an abomination. But I also can hold in my head the idea that there are people in Palestine who are rich too. And I refuse to believe that every Palestinian, every person that's trapped in Gaza is a terrorist. And I don't think it's appropriate to believe that one group of people has the corner market on humanity. They're human beings all around.
Absolutely.
And I think that Israel has the right to defend itself, but those people have a right to life too.
A lot of conservatives in the past have sided with Israel as an ally, but things started to change in the last year. And one of the biggest people that was critical was Candace Owens. Now, not just Candace Owens now. A lot of people who are influencers on the right have been critical. Sneako, Fresh and Fit Myron, Andrew Tate, Tristan Tate, and it's not surprising that all of these guys have been demonetized. But all of these people have a history of coming after the black community, especially Candace Owens.
It's a broken culture, it's a broken society, and hip hop is hurting things. But I also want to talk to you about something I've realized, even if black Americans are aware and know their history, right? And you can get black conservatives who understand the history much more, who understand the ills of the left and what the left has done. But still in that regard, they bring to the conservative side the same bad habits that I was hoping black conservatives would be abandoning. And what I'm talking about, number one, is conflict resolution. Black Americans do not know how to resolve basic conflicts. Everything has to turn into a fight. I hate you forever. You got to draw lines. It's like you're this gang or that gang. And you still see it happening in politics.
Now, don't forget that Candace Owens was working at the Daily Wire. She was hired by Ben Shapiro, and then in late March, fired for her allegedly anti-Semitic remarks. I don't know exactly what she said, but I believe she was debating one of the rabbis there, offended their community. She had to go. Then Candace Owens came back by herself. And to be honest, she was even stronger than before on the Daily Wire. But stop the show. She made some mistakes. Not only was her criticism of Israel maybe a little bit on the line there, I'm not even really dealing with that. It's the association of the people that she was dealing with on her YouTube channel. Number one, Kanye West. Another person that is anti-Semitic according to many Jews. Then you have the Andrew Tates, the Tristan Tates, the Alex Jones people. And I always tell YouTubers this, associating with people who have been banned off the platform only means bad news. And she's not the only person to try to do this or people that's demonetized. So do the Hodge twins. And if they don't stop, they're next, But that's another story. Let's get back to Candace Owens. Now, Candace Owens recently did this podcast with Kanye West. It was then removed from YouTube, and then a lot of her videos were removed from YouTube for allegedly having hate speech. Let's read what happened there. Sad music! Additionally, the video Kanye West, Candace Owens, episode 42, has been removed from Candace Owens' YouTube channel because it violates our hate speech policies. YouTube does not allow content containing conspiratorial claims that individuals or groups are evil, corrupt, or malicious based on their protected group status. Specifically, the video in question contains claims that Jewish people control the media. Candace Owens responds on her X by saying, "There will be no show today or at all this week. That's because YouTube has issued me a strike and a 1-week suspension for my sit down with Kanye. They also removed the interview as hate speech as it was mass reported by Zionists. Their tactics will never change." Now, also, she showed this particular video of her and Tristan Tate, which she manually reviewed. Now, if you guys know what manual review is, that means YouTube has demonetized the video, and then once you ask a review of the video to watch the video before you post it, they agree. And indeed, on August 16th, they did. However, after doing this, they removed the video. Candace Owens talks about this on August 29th. She says this, "Sad music. I requested a manual review of my Tristan Tate episode before we posted it and YouTube approved it. Then Awesome Jew encouraged people to fake mass report the video and YouTube removed the video. YouTube, this is targeted harassment campaign." So if you can see, this is a profile called Awesome Jew. Jews are the GOAT. You can report her YouTube channel here, and they're showing how to do it there, okay? That was not even the biggest issue. Candace Owens had a debate recently with Rabbi Shmuley on Piers Morgan Uncensored. But I think this comment is really what got her into a lot of trouble.
Here's what I would like to say to you, Rabbi, since you're quoting scripture, okay? The one that's relevant to me is, "Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness." And if you'd like to dive into a little more scripture, I think what's relevant is Revelation 3:9. "Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie." And I'm speaking directly to you, to you, to you.
Yeah, that's scripture there, okay? Then Candace Owens took to her Twitter space to talk about the whole situation. Let's check that out here.
Last report really quickly, just to give a couple of thoughts. You used to be able to just do a video on YouTube, but now I kind of think that you have to host a space. Anyways, obviously I'm doing this because my account just got suspended on YouTube, and I shared with you guys exactly how it happened, which was, prior to today, I had nothing on my account other than the day that account, Awesome Jew, began publishing a step-by-step guide for how people could mass report my Tristan Tate interview when my Tristan Tate interview aired. And YouTube actually responded on Twitter and said that these sort of targeted harassment campaigns wouldn't work. And then lo and behold, they quite literally took down that video, and we then filed an appeal, and we haven't actually heard back on that appeal. But I kind of put it in the back of my mind. And interestingly enough, like, it's kind of been a journey with this, and I did kind of expect this to happen, especially after the Rabbi Shmuley debate. I knew there would be some price that I had to pay for it, because you just can't have a video or a debate go that viral. And I could just see how angry the Zionist community was about it. And you could sense their anger also in their silence, which is so interesting just to weigh against. 2 weeks ago, every Zionist account on social media, every Zionist media member was writing articles hysterically from here to Australia saying, "Candace Owens is having a mental breakdown. Candace Owens is unhinged. Candace Owens is angry," writing lies about me. And yet, absolute crickets. If you go online right now and you type in like Rabbi Shmuley, Candace Owens, despite the fact that it was trending for 2.5 days on Twitter, not a single article was written which was negative about Rabbi Shmuley. And it sort of has been like a build with, like, throughout, I would say, the last year, really almost exactly a year. I think sort of post October 7th, for better or worse, things have changed. We're not going back to the place, the America, the conservative, the Republican movement, whatever you want to call it, that we were prior to October 7th. And I think it caused a lot of people to see the world through a different lens, and to see a lot of people who they had trusted and who they thought were morally consistent not live up to that expectation. And so I knew, like, when the first kind of harassment campaign came, and it was essentially like, "This is what your opinion has to be on this situation," and I didn't bite on that, I knew what the consequence was going to be. Obviously, everybody saw the writing on the wall. It was like, "We will come for your job, and you will no longer have the platform that you do." But I really did have the confidence, like, when all of that happened this year, like, I knew that I would be fine, because I very much believe in myself. And I think that kind of comes from, I think the public trusts me. We've been through enough together with, the media spells, whether it's Black Lives Matter and me taking an opinion that was not mainstreamed, COVID, me taking an opinion that was not mainstreamed, all with the exact same name calling, the exact same harassment, the exact same people pretending that I was too stupid to be able to have an opinion about these matters. She's not a doctor. She's not an expert. How dare she say this? Fine. And we've gotten through those things, and I've been on the right side of it. And so there's just been a very long history between me and the people that follow me. And like I said, some earned trust. And so when things throughout at the beginning of this year, obviously stepping out on my own, I did feel that like very confident that I could rebuild my audience because, like I said, like I am the Candace Show. It's just me talking to you guys. And obviously, I think for the people like Rabbi Shmuley who were a part of that harassment campaign, like demanding that I lose my job, it was something that made them very angry to see that that didn't take me out. And to the exact contrary, my show has never been bigger. My show has never been more successful. I've never had more daily views. And that doesn't really work for them. And so they were not going to let up. And I knew that that was going to happen because I think part of this sort of psychological terrorism is essentially you can only have a platform if we say you can. You can only have a platform if we're writing nice articles about you. You can only have a platform if we say that you're intelligent. You can only have a platform if we're willing to host you on our shows. And then you have people that are proving time and time again that that actually isn't a reality. And unfortunately, the people that we're dealing with don't have any other strategies. Like this is what they've been doing for so long to great success, whether it's, again, calling somebody stupid, calling their opinions illegitimate because they're not experts, so you can't talk about vaccines. In the past, that's proven so successful, but we live in a different world post-COVID where the belief in the establishment has completely crumbled. And people are now really following the individuals that were willing to sort of buck those trends and say, hey, wait a second, like maybe let's not get the vaccine. Like, hey, maybe Black Lives Matter isn't telling you the truth. And maybe Zionism has become exceedingly radical. And you can watch these accounts. I mean, we saw this last week with Tucker Carlson.
Now, that Twitter space was called My YouTube Suspension. Now, Myron best sums it up in his honest opinion, which is this: YouTube demonetizing real Candace Owens proves what I've been saying for the past year and who really runs America. You can criticize BLM, LGBTQ, Marxism, feminism, communism, egalitarianism, but you can never talk about Jews or Zionists. According to the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance's working definition, which is always updated, of anti-Semitism, making mendacious, dehumanizing, demonizing, or stereotypical allegations about Jews as such are the power of Jews as collective, such as, especially but not exclusively, the myth about a world Jewish conspiracy or Jews controlling the media, economy, government, or other societal institutions. So criticizing Jewish control of the media is anti-Semitism, but then they ban you for saying they control the media, which proves they do control the media. That is his opinion, okay? First of all, me personally, I don't get involved in this, and I'll tell you exactly why. It has nothing to do with me. But see, Candace, you guys deserve this in my opinion. I'm gonna tell you exactly why. Both of you guys, first of all, you go after blacks, okay? You go after blacks, and then your followers get you hyped up, okay? You go after blacks, you dehumanize blacks, you've done it for years, and now you think that because you have a following, and again, you don't really see the whites doing this in the conservative ranks, you see the non-whites doing this, right? Because you guys think you're so hyped. Then, after you go and get some confidence by coming after the blacks, and the blacks can't really move anything against you or get your profiles removed, you then go against the Jewish community, okay? And then you guys find out that, oh, shoot, people are not gonna take this. And especially somebody like Myron, they spend all your time, your free time, just harassing people or whatever. Now, politics is one thing, but what does that have to do with the Jews or whatever else, or the blacks? Just stick to political things. A lot of these guys on the right, to build a fan base, it's going to war kind of as a crash dummy against these groups that whites don't want to talk about on the right because they will be considered racist. So they send their Candace Owens to do it. They send their Fresh and Fits to do it. And again, when you get your Negro wake-up call, you get upset. Now you're mad that you get demonetized. And again, Candace Owens, you've been messing around with it before. Now you're gonna find out how much those people are not gonna support you. Your fans, you're gonna end up just like Myron. You're gonna end up just like Just Pearly Things. All of you guys don't do anything for clout, okay? Kevin Samuels tried to tell Myron, said, listen, man, if you want to stay monetized on YouTube, leave certain groups alone, okay? Especially the Jewish community. Don't talk about them. They're gonna shut you down. Just leave it alone. It's not worth it. Stick to your content. Stick to talking about things that matter. Me personally, I talk about the black community. That's what I understand. That's what I know. If Candace Owens is a black conservative and you really want to help the black community, you should stay away from talking to about other things. Stick to the black community. But you don't. You want clout. So then they give you the clout you're looking for. Now you're crying foul. But you knew that this was going to happen if you keep going on, keep going on, keep going on. And then you got your wake-up call. Same thing with Myron, same thing with Donovan. All of these guys, they don't know when to stop. And they keep twerking for Zaddy. Boom, you learn today. But again, you get that false confidence after you go after the blacks and everybody, everybody loves you for it. Now let's see how much they love your ass now. Now when you ain't got that monetization coming in, let's see how much they love you now after you done crashed out. Should taught you a lesson. Should have just stopped doing what you're doing. But me, I'm focused on what I'm focused on, which is the blacks. And I would say for every other black person, we got too many issues in our community to be talking about other people, period. It's not gonna help anyway. And the criticism that these guys give, it's not gonna help. You guys are not gonna change anything. Stop crying. If you wanna change things, work in your local communities where you can change things, not booty clapping for Zaddy. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy Osha Duke Jackson, back at it again with the episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.